How are you guys? Welcome to our podcast, to So Random and Weird Pod. I'm Sarah.
And I'm Sheena.
And oh gosh, I can't believe it. It is Christmas week.
It is. It is.
That's insane.
Yeah,
I
it is.
I yeah. I'm Are you ready?
Well, I mean, my own personal self, I don't really celebrate Christmas. Like today would be my Christmas
Yeah, that's true.
because it's
That's true.
solstice. So,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, plus also currently unemployed. So this is my only job for right now.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
not like I need to request paid time off.
Yeah. Uh yeah, it's I well I celebrate, I celebrate today and I'll be celebrating Christmas with the family and all of our family, both sides of the family. So this week but I'm just gifts are still coming in. My tree is still not decorated. Yeah, my epic fail this year. Epic fail.
Yeah,
So
it's just a big dust catcher anyways. And a new cat toy.
or a dog toy. Our
That
dog
too.
likes it. Well, in keeping with the season, with the tradition, I decided to look at the various Yuletide monsters, myths,
Folklore.
legends,
Yeah.
lores. Yep. And I decided to look at Baba Yaga.
Baba Yaga.
So, I uh, I was interested in it because I didn't know, like, I was gonna think of, like, maybe Krampus or something, and I was looking through and I'm like, ooh, I think it's appropriate. So, and in case, you don't know who Baba Yaga is, she is a Slavic witch. She, steals presents. She's a swamp witch, who steals presents,
Same.
and she, likes to gobble up fat children, uh, which I was like, "Okay, sweet." And, apparently she gobbles up fat children after forcing them to do chores. Love her. Love her. I
Of
love
course
her.
she's
I
Slavic.
wanna be a Baba Yaga. I'm gonna
I
force,
am a swamp
children to do
witch.
chores. I know. I'm gonna
Yeah.
force children to do chores around my house.
Yeah, so would
Anyway.
I. I wouldn't
Exactly.
eat
It's
them
like,
though.
yeah, no, I wouldn't eat them, for sure, but I mean, like, forcing them to do chores, yes, yes. So, basically, Baba Yaga it means spooky grandma, in Russian.
Well, yeah,
Baba
because
is
with
yeah,
me being Polish, babcia is Polish for grandma.
okay, okay, I know that. Um, so Baba is Slavic for old woman or grandmother, like you were saying, um, witch, and, they think it's, probably related to babushka, which is Russian for grandmother. Yaga, they say that, it could be Slavic for a word that means, it's Jaiwiga. I'm probably saying that horribly wrong, and I apologize. But it's, could also mean, like, abuse or snake or wicked. So, yeah. They're not really sure where Yaga comes from, but it could be some kind of, translation for snake or wicked or abuse. I was like, "Oh, that's lovely. Great."
Did you ever
Uh,
read that book? Oh, it was, I remember there used to be a book that had the Baba Yaga house in it. It was a cartoon.
I know
So it
exactly
was
because of the chicken. Yes, as soon as
yeah,
I
the
was reading
chicken
about the
leg.
house, yes, I was like, "Oh my god, I've seen this before and I don't know where.
Mhm.
I don't know where." It was something that we watched or saw a book. It was somewhere.
It was
Yes.
a book in the '90s, and it's gonna bother me till I find it.
I know. It was bothering me too, and I was trying to think about I didn't get a chance to really look it up because I was writing my notes, I was like I made a mental note to remind myself to check it out and try to figure out where I saw it from or how I knew it from, and I hadn't yet. But then I thought maybe it was just my old, like, like one of those, like wow, what's it called where you think you know
Mandela,
something?
uh,
Yes, yeah.
the
It's the
Mandela effect
Mandela,
where
yes,
you're like, "Is
yes,
that
where you think
right?"
you remember something and it's completely wrong. Yeah. But I'm glad you remembered it too, because now I know I'm not, like, going cray-cray. So, um, so the Baba Yaga, her appearance is almost always the same, even though, like, she can vary from story to story. Um, she always has an unnaturally long nose, sometimes stretching to the ceiling when she sleeps, when she's laying down to sleep. She has iron teeth. Um, she's pretty much skin and bones. Um, even, despite her voracious appetite for children, fat children, she's pretty skinny. Very tall. She lays on top of her enormous cooking stove, and apparently her stove stretches from one end of her house, her cabin, to the other, and she lays on this, I guess, to sleep. Why? I have no idea. Oh,
Well, I
whatever.
mean, it would be warm.
It would be warm. It would be, and I mean, obviously, it's the only place that fits her, but still. And knowing that's like, Slavic, it's Russian, so I mean, it's gonna be cold. I guess it makes sense. But uh, so she's sometimes called bony-legged. I love this. I was reading that she rides around in a flying mortar that she steers with a large pestle. So like the pestle is like her rudder, and she's
Mhm.
flying around in this, big mortar. I was like, oh my gosh, that's great. I love her. And then of course, to hide her tracks, she sweeps away her tracks with a birch broom as she flies. So, uh, and then of course you talked about it. Like her house is weird. Like it's definitely like yeah. When I was reading it, they said they described it as you would definitely know the house when you come across it. It was one of those like you know it when you see it type of things. It's a house with chicken legs. And when I saw the picture, I was like, I've seen this before. And, it's a log style cabin, it's a log house, or hut, atop of a pair of giant, moving, dancing chicken legs.
Which
And,
is nightmare fuel for me because I am deathly scared of chickens.
are you serious?
Chickens and
You're scared of
turkeys.
chicken?
Yep.
You're s what? Okay, hold on. Well, I never knew this, so wait a minute. Well, I gotta ask, what I
Okay.
I mean, how many chickens and turkeys have you come across in your lifetime? I'm just curious.
Well, my grandfather had them out in the boonies in Meharry, Virginia, and they used to chase me. Also, when I was 2-ish, my mom worked at a turkey farm in New Jersey, and she would say, "Oh, yeah," she's like, "I would constantly see you running towards the beehives because the turkeys would be chasing you, and the beehives were the only place that they wouldn't go."
Now
So,
was it chickens that chased you or was it roosters?
both.
Okay, okay.
And my
Um,
mom has chickens now, and so, before when I would go down, there would be times that, like, literally the chickens would just, like, swarm my car. They would get out of their enclosure and swarm, and I'm, like, having to call my mom from the car going, "Mom, your chickens are
help,
out."
help, the chickens are out. That's funny. That's funny.
There
I mean,
was
Sheena, they're like, so big.
I
They're so
know.
scared of these you could punt them. I mean, not that I'm not saying punt them. I don't want animal cruelty or whatever you call me, but you can literally punt them. I mean, they're
I
that
know.
small.
I know, but
Oh my god. I'm sorry.
and that's the thing too is, like, there was one Christmas I was going out and taking my stuff to the car, and my mom has some of those, like, Muppet-headed chickens too, where, like, all the feathers come down and they kind of look like Beaker.
Oh my
from the Muppets,
god. Oh my
and
god.
I came out, saw it, screamed, the chicken went one way and I went the other.
I'm
I
sorry.
nearly fell
Oh my god.
because
I
it was icy.
okay, I won't judge you. I won't judge you. That is hilarious. I won't judge you. Okay. Oh my god. Scared of chicken dog. I learn something new every day. I've known you for God, how many years, and I never knew that. Okay.
Yeah. Well, it's not like
Um,
we were ever really around
I
chickens.
but, exactly. How many chickens did we have in Ephrata? We didn't have any chickens in Ephrata, not at Fulton School, like, not it's like we didn't go to, like, KFC together. I don't know.
We didn't visit the farm.
Petting farm, petting zoos or whatever farm, yeah. So, alright, so yes, so Baba Yaga's house, um, can move on the chicken legs. Um, they move out the direction of Baba Yaga. Uh, and her house apparently will not turn to reveal its front door unless the magic phrase is used. Okay. And that is turn your back to the forest, your front to me. It's the magic phrase in case you ever come across this chicken house and you want to stop in and say, yo, as long as you're not a fat child. Um, hopefully she won't eat you.
Well, the question
Um,
is, what does she consider a child? Because I am somebody's
true,
child technically.
true. Um, So, yeah, and that's not the chicken legs, are not the only interesting feature of the house. Apparently, the keyhole to the front door is a mouth full of razor sharp teeth.
Oh, cute.
Yeah, that's what I thought too. I was like, "Oh, good. Yeah." The fence around the house is made of human bones, topped with lamps made from the skulls of Baba Yaga's victims.
That's some good I like that decor.
Yeah, and apparently there's always one post that is empty, and that is for the new victim of whatever hero story is being told, where she's, of course, the villain and the hero is, trying to escape Baba Yaga. I mean, that empty post is for our hero, whoever that hero is in the story. Um, so she is Baba Yaga is seen as a trickster, monster, and savior, like, all encompassed into one. And, of course, that is, the connection with femininity and, the natural world, the duality that reflects, the Russian culture's perception of women in society, like maternal love, and mercurial, seductive duplicity. I mean, all of that encompasses, the what, basically Russian culture and men see women to be. Um and there's also, of course, that fear of women who, live outside of the, expectations, who, work on who live on their own, who are strong, who are, basically not adhering to the male-dominated societies that we have,
The
they're
patriarchy.
exactly, exactly. Yeah. So, so she kind of encompasses all of these things, and, um But, in the stories, and there's a variety of stories, variety of myths and legends where she appears. And, she's usually malevolent, um, of course. Um, and then that character of hers is kind of balanced by a benevolent, uh, person, which is, called usually Morosco, who's a powerful winter wizard, whose name is translated to Jack Frost or Frosty. And they, like, butt heads and things like that. And, so she's also become a semi-ironic feminist icon. Like I said earlier, that older woman living on her own, away from society, in the woods, doing whatever she wants, having that autonomy. Um, and so she's a very interesting creature, very interesting figure. And ironically, um, John Wick is called Baba Yaga in the John Wick movies. I've seen the first John Wick movie. I have not seen I don't think I've seen the others, but I've seen the first John Wick movies, and I didn't remember him being called this.
Me
Mm.
either.
Yeah, I know, but I found it interesting that he is being called, like grandmother, grandmother. And I'm like, do they know what this means? Do they know? So, um, I kind of looked it up, and I guess they were thinking that in the movie, I guess it translates to the boogeyman,
Mm,
but they were probably thinking of Baba Baba Yaga, Babayka, which is a
yeah,
monster from
probably.
Russian folklore, more in the line with the concept of the boogeyman, the bogeyman. Um, but it's just kind of funny that John Wick is being called Spooky Grandma. Yes, yes. Oh my God, what is that?
It is from a book called Bony Legs. Because
I I remember that. You're gonna have to share that on the site too,
I would,
because yeah,
yes,
I
'cause see,
knew I
like,
saw it. Yes, and she's called Bony Leg. I mean, that's definitely, and look at her. I mean, it's obviously very Slavic. It's obviously a very Slavic, picture and everything. So,
so
wow.
yeah,
I don't
that's
I don't remember what that's about though.
you know what? I don't either. And the thing is too is I've heard different versions of Baba Yaga as well,
Yeah.
like different
Yeah.
stories.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and there are definitely, um, different versions. There's a Russian fairy tale called Vasila the Beautiful, which tells of a pretty young girl who, um, has a wicked stepmother and 2 ugly stepsisters. Sound familiar?
Mhm.
The stepmother runs Vasila ragged with increasingly difficult chores, and the girl's always able to accomplish them, through the magical doll that was given to her by her late mother. And so when Vasila becomes old enough to marry, her stepmother decides to get rid of her, so her beauty will stop distracting the suitors from her ugly stepsisters. So she sends Vasila to the hardest errand, like on her hardest errand yet, which is to fetch fire from the Baba Yaga. So the girl makes her way to the chicken leg hut, where the Baba Yaga immediately puts her to work to pay for the fire. The witch sets before the girl a series of impossible tasks, which she's able to finish thanks to the doll. And despite being surrounded by like the eerie sights of disembodied, pairs of hands, and the Baba Yaga eating inhuman amounts of food, Basila keeps her cool and is polite to the witch. Um, and of course, in the end, the witch gives Vasila the fire held within a skull, which then Vasila brings home, burns the stepmother and stepsisters to ashes.
Yes.
Vasila survives and marries the Tsar. The
Mm.
end. So
Well, I
that
guess
is
that's
one of
better
the
than having their eyes gouged out by birds.
yeah, yeah. Um, that yeah, but there's several others, of course. Like um, there was one here. Um, Baba Yaga and the Brave Youth. Let's see here, where a brave youth lives together with a cat and a sparrow. The cat and the sparrow repeatedly go into the woods to cut wood, despite being the two without thumbs, which is interesting, I thought. Leaving the brave youth behind with one warning. If the Baba Yaga comes to count the spoons, hide and don't say anything. I don't know what the spoons have to do with anything, but it's interesting. So let's see here. So the count the spoons. So 3 times the Baba Yaga comes to the house to count the spoons, and 3 times the boy can't hold his tongue when he sees the witch touching his spoon. The first 2 times the cat and sparrow chase the witch off, but the third time she snatches him off to her hut to eat him. I love these stories. I'm
Is
like,
that
"Oh
how
my
they got
god."
rid of autism?
That's oh,
That's my
Tylenol. Get rid
spoon.
of Tylenol. Get rid of Tylenol. Um, so
Excuse
there's
me, I
a
am 42 years old. I have pain.
yeah. So, apparently in this, story, Baba Yaga has 3 daughters. The Baba Yaga tells each daughter to turn to cook the boy, tells each daughter in turn to cook the boy, but he tricks each one of them into cooking themselves instead by acting like he doesn't know how to lie in a pan and asking them to show him. Pulling the same trick a 4th time leads to a cooked Baba Yaga and a youth running bravely home. So, apparently, the Baba Yaga and her 3 daughters are also stupid. But, yeah.
Weaponized incompetence.
Yeah.
That's the only time that's working.
Yeah. I some of these stories were, like, really interesting. Um, it's just so I also was reading that she has, some servants as well. So, in the story of Vasilla the Beautiful, AKA the Cinderella,
Mhm.
um, apparently, she has Baba Yaga has invisible servants, or the constant looming threat of cannibalism, I guess, happening. But rather the title heroine spies through the window. Let's see here. The chicken leg house. When Baba Yaga tasks the girl with separating a pile of grains, Vasilla's magic doll tells her to rest and let the doll take care of it. When Vasilla wakes in the morning and sees the firelit dim inside the skull top fence post, she spies a rider dressed all in white, galloping upon a milk white horse around the house. The rider then jumps a wall and vanishes. Soon she spies a rider in red on a blood red horse who does the same. In the evening, when the Baba Yaga returns to check on Vasilla's work, the girl sees a rider in black on a coal black horse galloping around the hut before vanishing like others. So apparently, she has some servants that ride on red, white, and black horses um, that she refers to as her faithful servants. Doesn't really say what they do. Um, Not really sure. Does she feed them these children? I don't know, but it's interesting. I was definitely intrigued by the different versions of Baba Yaga, some of the different stories, um, that, that I found, and, of course, the house, I knew the house for sure when I saw that. But there were different stories like, with, the Maiden Czar, and so, I mean, I encourage you guys, and I'm not gonna go through all of these stories, but I encourage you if you're interested in Baba Yaga and some of her different stories to check them out. Of course, she has made modern appearances, like in the Hellboy franchise, um, in the movies. She's in the Hellboy movie. Um, so the Hellboy goes to her chicken leg house and shoots Baba Yaga's eye out. Lovely. But in that one, I mean, I think in that movie she does not have a long nose, so but, it is definitely Baba Yaga. So, uh, yeah, it was definitely, I never had heard of Baba Yaga before, to be honest. Um, and I thought, "You know what? I I wanna check her out," and I'm really glad I did. And, despite, John Wick being called Baba Yaga, that's a little disturbing now that I know what it means. I don't think I'll be able to see the John Wick movies again without, looking twice, but,
Voice from
I
above.
know. A voice from above. Sorry, guys.
Alright. So,
But
I
yeah.
found Bony Legs, what it's
Oh, yes,
about.
the book.
So, it was written 1983 by
Oh.
the same lady who did, The Magic School Bus,
Okay, okay.
and it's based on the Russian folktale of Baba Yaga, about a girl named Sasha who escapes a witch with a house on chicken legs by showing kindness to the witch's dog, cat, and gate, which help her escape with a mirror and comb.
Remember I think I remember it's like the gate or something.
Yeah.
I remember that, I do. I mean, very, very vaguely, but I do remember that.
Yes. So, and that was '83, that's the year that I was born, so
Well, yeah, I mean, I was 84, but I mean, I do remember from that yeah, I do remember that, I very vaguely. Wow, that is so cool. I'm so glad that I wasn't dreaming it.
nope, nope. I because 'cause I'm like, "Oh, I know this." Of course, my my TISM and ADHD response is like, "I gotta find it because I know it."
Yeah, no, and that's what I was thinking too when I was doing my research, I was like, I know the chicken leg," 'cause when I saw the picture, I was like and I'll send you my sources, and that way you can, um our listeners can look at the pictures too. But I was looking at these pictures, and I'm like, I know this house." I didn't remember her, like, I didn't remember anything about her,
Mhm.
but I remembered the house. The house the house stuck out. I mean, who has a house with chicken legs?
Random Slavic people,
Random
witches,
Slavic old ladies who live in the woods, meet
Strigoi.
children. But yeah, that was so fascinating. But yeah, I was, I definitely liked reading about her. A lot of fun.
Yes. I know, I get so deep into those kind of things because, like, especially if it's something kind of, like, witchy or anything like that, or, like, any
And that's
mythological things or folklore, especially for me because I'm very much, very attached to, like, my Scandinavian and my Slavic roots
yeah.
because
Well,
I'm part Norwegian.
powerful women.
Yeah.
Yeah, and powerful women, I mean, I'm very, of course, drawn to that, and I there's so many male figures that are
Mhm.
in everyday, media and everyday, like, mythology and, that you hear so much about, but I love reading about female, you know, female powers, female, leaders, female, just
Mhm.
that feminine perspective, and I really like that, so
Yes. Yes. And I'll be up next for me, and I've got paranormal. Oh, before I forget, let's
I was
spin
gonna
the
say,
wheel
"Never
for
spin
you.
my wheel."
Spin as the world turn, turn, turn. I've been listening to a lot of music, classic rock because I don't know why. It just happened that way, and that was one of the songs that came up today. I'm almost there. Of course, I've got like 700 different tabs going at once.
No worries. I wasn't sure if I wanted to do something 'cause I wasn't in the Yuletide Christmas mood, to be honest with
It's
you. I
okay.
haven't been with the surgery and everything and surgeries and all that good stuff and the trip. I was like, "Oh, man." And I was gonna do something, else, and I thought about doing something else, and, um,
That's
but,
okay. That leaves
I
Yule Cat for me.
well, you know what? I was like, "No, I'm gonna leave that for Sheena because I feel like Yule Cat would be a Sheena thing." I still have to look at our page, and I apologize.
It's all good.
Put my
All right.
topics up there.
Drum roll.
Sweet
History.
history! History, love it. Oh, I love it. I know what I'm doing.
So, yeah, I'm excited for my topic, which is paranormal. I'm going to let you guys simmer about it. A little bit of I'm going to do a little bit of history because this time of the year is actually a big time back starting even before like it came back in the Victorian era with Christmas ghost stories and winter ghost stories. So, and then but they used to do it during way back when there was nothing else to do. So, Christmas Christmas paranormals, ghost stories. are, pretty are actually old tradition.
Yeah, and that's
So
kind of what I was reading too when I was checking out what kind of Yuletide monsters, that I could focus on, and that's what they were called, Yuletide monsters. I was looking for, like, Yuletide myths, legends, and things, and I wanted to do something, like, creepy-ish, because I was gonna do just, a monster myth legend. I thought, "Maybe I'll do a Christmassy one," and apparently paranormal and is not just a Halloween thing.
no, it's
It's
not,
not.
and that's always been that way. So there's definitely so I but I'm gonna be doing a little bit of Christmas, winter, and New Year's. So I've actually found a New Year's ghost.
That's cool.
Yeah. So that's what I'll be doing next week. And also I wanted to throw out to an idea to some people, see if there's anybody who wants to comment on it, give us, be like, "Hey, that sounds absolutely awesome." I think that you and I should watch Supernatural because you've never watched Supernatural, right?
I have not. I have
So
not.
this would be really cool because then it would be like me who that's my comfort show. and I and then you not seeing this and also it kind of brings together our two our kinds of stuff where it's like true crime and well not true crime but like ghost
Right.
stories and
Yeah.
all of that. And, um, we could come together. Um, we can give you guys a couple of teaser episodes of it, and then we can go and then because we're looking to start a Patreon, so that way we can, make this better and possibly do only this as our jobs. I mean, that would be nice.
That'd be really nice. That'd be cool.
Yes. And
Wouldn't mind doing that.
and then also if we have Patreon, then we can start looking into merch as well and to do other things. I mean, I'm also open to doing, uh, me rewatching Buffy. I don't know how much Buffy you've watched.
I have watched all of them.
Okay.
I've
So,
watched
I mean, that's something that we could actually
not all of Angel, but I've watched all of because there are some seasons that I don't know.
yeah. But and
The
then
middle, I
also
couldn't. The whole Cordy thing, I was like, "I don't
oh,
know, I
believe me, I
can't."
was nah.
Yeah. Oh my gosh.
Um,
We should do, like, a Buffy thing, like, we should if we have,
yeah,
like, any Buffy fans,
after
like, that
Supernatural because we've got,
like,
we
discuss, Buffy episode, just, like, favorite things, just, like, random Buffy stuff
right.
or Angel stuff, yeah.
But then also we can do other shows as well, that we can get, ideas from everybody, of shows that either you've watched or I've watched, or I haven't watched or you haven't watched. So that way we can be like, "What?"
Yeah,
You
that's
know?
really cool, I like that, yeah.
Yeah,
Sure.
and then also, I mean, of course, there's other ideas that I'm coming up as well since I have lots of time to think right now.
Well, you're very creative and definitely the creative genius behind I like our little people, by the way.
Our little chibis.
Yeah, they're so cute.
I know,
They're and I love yours with the pink hair because that's just so you. That's so
I
you.
know, I love having pink
Me and
hair.
my plain, like, I'm like, "Yo, whatever."
I I wear my rebellion on the outside. I've got
Yeah. Colored hair
colored
and
hair and piercings.
piercings, yeah, and I'm just, like, plain Jane. Plain Jane. That's all good. I've always been plain Jane,
That's always been
but
how it's kind of been for us. Like, I've always wanted, like yeah, sure, I wear a lot of black, but because black is me, but at the same time, like, I love coloring my hair, and I've always wanted to color my hair different colors. As when I was a kid, I was like, "Oh," seeing all those
well
punk people
and
and
you
then
were a little restricted when you were younger.
yeah. Yeah, I didn't dye my
So
hair until I was 17,
yeah, I mean,
16.
that's what I mean. I mean, you were restricted and, you know what they say, I mean, like, the more you squeeze a bird or confine 'em, whatever what is that? The more you squeeze or cage in a bird, the more they're gonna wanna fly away, basically. I forget the exact
I've
the
heard
exact
it
saying,
where
but
it's like when you hold a handful of sand, that if you squeeze your hand closed, it'll still come out the sides and between your fingers. But if you hold it with an open hand, then it'll stay. So,
exactly.
yeah.
I mean, and that's what drives me crazy about, some of the especially, like my friend, I have some friends who are, a little bit more conservative, due to religious, their beliefs. And so, like, they restrict their kids from watching certain things and it's I mean, that's fine if that's how you wanna raise your kids, but, I mean, I think, it's a little bit of, of denial that you're gonna be able to protect them from life, and you can't,
Mhm.
like, my friend is like, her kids don't know what, swear words mean, and then but my kids are friends with them, and my kids are like, "Mom, they swear all the time." Like, not around their parents, but they swear at school, they swear, and I'm like, "I know." I'm like, "The parents are in their little naive world, and that's okay." I mean, they wanna, live like that, that's whatever. But, I mean, you can't protect your kids, you can't hold them back from experiencing the world and growing up, and I mean, like, they're gonna find out what life is, what swear words are, what sex is, I mean, that's
Mhm.
just it's reality. But they're going to be more deceptive about it, they're gonna be more devious about it, they're not gonna be able to open up, they're not gonna be able to say, "Hey, mom, I'm ready to have sex," or, "Hey," "Hey,
Mhm.
dad, I'm doing this," or they're gonna be secretive about it, and then that's when they get in trouble because they're gonna go wild, they're gonna, be like, "Hey, now I'm away from my parents," or, "I'm just gonna do whatever I want to now," and they go crazy, and they have sex with anybody and everybody, and that's when they get pregnant, STDs, and, oh, it's I don't know, I mean, I'm not saying that, you're that kids won't do that even if they are in an open, like a relationship with their parents, where they can discuss things openly, but, um, hopefully, they're just a little bit more prepared. But,
Mhm.
yeah,
Yeah.
you just like my one friend from elementary school, like, her mom, like, sheltered her so badly, and, I think she ended up, like, getting into drugs, she ended up having kids early.
I was gonna say this is not me.
No, not you. But, I mean, she was in our elementary school. She was, but yeah, like, for a year or 2. But yeah, I mean, but she was, like, in Christian school and things, before she came to our school, and it was a rough life for her, just because she was so sheltered, and then all of a sudden, she broke free and definitely had a wild side.
Yep.
So,
And so, also, we want to get your guys' experiences, whether it be paranormal, true crime, crazy glitches in the Matrix, your Sims stories. I love Sims. I play Sims when I have time, and when
you
I
play
actually
Sims?
do, I play Sims. I love Sims.
Oh my god. Well, I since children, I haven't played a whole lot. I mean, I from time to time, I sit but then I get addicted,
I
and
know.
I can't because I have kids that I kinda have to pay attention to, unfortunately, at times. So it's hard to play Sims, it's hard to play World of Warcraft, which I really enjoy as well, and, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. But, we want you guys' stories. We want you guys to interact. You can come post onto our Facebook, and start the story or start, a thread, something that we can because if you post an idea there, we'll see it, so also you can follow us, which our Facebook is So Random and Weird Podcast. We have Instagram at So Random and Weird Pod, our Gmail that you can send us your stories and you can keep it anonymous, which is also so random and weird pod at gmail.com. You can find us on most um, most places that you can listen to podcasts. There we go. My brain just got sidetracked
It
because my
you'll
laundry's
you'll
done.
you'll you'll get it out. Oh, I have to do laundry. Oh, darn.
And,
9:30 here.
yep, and we've got YouTube as well, so Random and Weird Podcast, you can you can listen there. You can listen there, and hopefully someday I will get the courage to be on camera
You can be okay. You're gorgeous. What do you mean be on camera? Get the courage.
because I don't need them to think that I am the ghost of our podcast with how pale I am.
I was called Casper. At my one job, I was literally called Casper because when I would come in shorts, because like on my days off, 'cause we weren't allowed to wear shorts, obviously, during the workday, um, people would see my legs and they would be like, "Oh my God, look at her legs. You're like Casper the ghost." They literally called me Cas I'm like, "Thanks."
Well, I got called mayonnaise legs because when I lived out there in Pennsylvania and I was living with my aunt, my dad, my cousin, and her 2 kids in the house, and I would be out in shorts, and they're like my aunt would, like, put her not as pale legs next to mine, and she'd be like, "You've got mayonnaise legs." And then there's also a comic because as everybody who knows me knows that I love Lord of the Rings, which is another trauma response as well, because the cartoon scared the crap out of me. But as soon as I saw Legolas, I was like, "Oh, hello." Anyways,
I have no
sidetrack.
idea. An ex-boyfriend of mine loved, Lord of the Rings, and I watched it with him reluctantly, and I was trying to pay attention, and I was like, "Oh, I okay, yeah, oh, yeah, this is great, sure, 3-hour movies each,
Yes.
fantastic."
Well, so there was the cartoons that came out in the '70s, and Schmeagol/Gollum scared the crap out of me as a kid. Like, I would literally, like, hide because my mom loves Lord of the Rings as well. And so, like, anytime anything Lord of the Rings came up, I would be like, "No!" And so I would, like and also Smaug scared me a bit too, from those cartoons. And, so then finally, after the Fellowship came out, I was still in high school, and so I went and I was walking by and saw Orlando Bloom as Legolas, and I was like, "Hmm? Who's that?"
Yeah, leave it to God to change your mind, a hot guy. You were always, like, boy crazy. Well, not I should always say boy crazy, but you were always very, like, "Oh, boys," you know? And
I know.
I was
It's a
never like, because
sickness.
you like New Kids on the Block. I mean, we were, like, in elementary school, and you, were crushing hugely on New Kids, and I was, like, so not into boys. Boys at the time were creepy and disgusting to me, and I was like, "Oh, gosh, sure." And my parents hated '80s music. Nothing past the 1970s, thank you. They were, '50s, '60s, '70s music. Nothing past the 1979. So I was so totally out of the loop with everything. But yeah, no, you were and then, of course, you loved David Boreanaz as an age. Even before I was,
I
really,
still do.
oh god, well, yeah, no, me too. Now that I'm older and into boys. But at the time, I was kinda like, "Oh, yeah, I guess, he's," but I wasn't as obsessed as you were. You were like,
I didn't
boy
have much
crazy.
we didn't have internet, okay?
I know. Oh, yeah, no,
Otherwise, I
there's
woulda
no
had other
judgment.
things.
No
Uh,
judgment at
it
all.
was vampire stories, like the Christopher Pike vampire
Christopher
books.
Pike Christopher Pike. I Remember Me, I love that book. That was a ghost story, but,
Yeah.
yeah.
But,
It
yeah, I
was
mean
the simple life of the Zennial, you know?
yeah, but the funny thing is how much I actually hated boys in real life for the most part.
Hmm.
E
Except
except except Tony
for
Zarenko.
and Brandon Ringler.
Yep,
Brandon Ringler. You love Bra
I know.
I didn't know you
I
liked
know.
Tony Zaranko.
Yes!
Remember
Yes,
that.
yes, yes.
I remembered Brandon Ringler. I didn't remember Tony Zaranko.
That's because
Wow.
Tony left in what, 3rd or 4th grade,
4th grade? 4 I thought yeah.
and
Thought
Brandon
he was in
came
3rd
in
grade, but Brandon came in 4th or 5th.
2nd. Yeah, yes. 2nd or 3rd.
Ah,
Mhm.
okay. I didn't remember he came in that early. I thought he came in, like, 4th. I remember him from 5th. I don't remember him from anything below 4th. Okay.
'Cause, who was our 3rd grade teacher?
Mrs. Rainier and Mrs.
Rainier.
Eby.
Mrs. Rainier, she had, um that's when we
And
did the Thanksgiving play where I was Mary, right?
no, I thought that was 4th grade. I thought Mrs. Bardell did the Thanksgiving, the Pilgrim play, and you were married to
No,
Brandon Ringler in it.
no, it was 3rd grade. Who knows?
Yeah,
Time
yeah, but I remember you were married to Brandon because you were Brewster. It was he was William
Mary.
Brewster, and you were
Mary.
his wife, Mary. I was Priscilla Mullins. I remember that because I loved the name Priscilla Mullins. I was like, "This is fantastic. I love her." Um, and you were, like, in heaven because you were married to Brandon Ringler
And, you know, the funny thing
play.
is too, is, like, Brandon and I would always end up sitting together and, like, every time, even when they,
He
like
was cute. He was cute. I mean, looking back now, I mean, he was very cute. I like Brendan Hardy. I liked Brendan
my
Hardy.
neighbor.
He was my crush, yes. He was my crush in elementary school. But
See, and I didn't even know that.
he went out with Des Disney that went out, quote unquote, with
Elementary school went
my
out.
cousin. Yeah, my elementary school went out. He was going out with my cousin Desiree. Um,
See, and remember,
who was
he
in our
lived
class.
in the same circle.
Yeah, he lived 2
He
houses,
lived
3 houses down from you in Greg's Circle.
he lived a section away from me because there was, like,
Yeah,
1 block of
they were
houses.
in sections. Yeah, they were sectional houses. But yeah.
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 Yes, because you
And,
remember when I had my first sleepover and we went over because his and my birthday were close together, like, his was either, like, the 8th or 10th, and then there was my birthday, and so
I vaguely remember this.
and we went on, like, a night raid over to the, like, sneak and check on the boys, and then they were actually out already.
I vaguely, because I remember the sleepover, I do. I remember, like, the all the sleeping bags from all the girls from elementary school. Oh my god. Do you
Yes.
remember do you remember were you at Dez's party where we watched Pet Sematary?
I my mom picked me up before we watched it because she wouldn't let me watch it. Now explain this to me, I couldn't watch Pet Sematary, but at 5 years old, I was watching, uh, Tales from the Crypt and Nightmare Before Elm Christmas.
Oh, the old brain, I love it. No. Really?
Nightmare on
You know,
Elm Street.
I cannot I mean, God bless Mrs. Sisney because she's passed away now. Michelle
Oh,
Sisney, she died, 2 years ago. She had cancer.
mm.
Um, and, which, I mean, I was really shocked when I read Des's, Facebook page. But, I don't we were in 2nd grade, I think. I really truly don't understand why she would have showed Pet Sematary to freaking 2nd graders. The freaking 2nd graders. I was so scarred by that movie. You know, I still can't stand next to my bed without thinking that there is someone underneath my bed who's gonna slash my ankles.
That's why I have
I mean,
chores.
I still see it in my mind, and I am 41
1.
years old. I had to think about that. I'm 41 years old, and I saw this movie only once in 2nd grade, and I still remember some of these scenes.
You know what movie gets me? Gremlins.
You know, I saw that movie when I was just recently, and I honestly, I cannot I don't
I
remember
still
it.
have nightmares. Every time I even see, like, a post with Gremlins on it, I'm like, "Blah, blah, blah," and then I
Gosh.
have nightmares.
Yeah. Well, Mike, when we were first dating, it was, I think, like, our 3rd date, he wanted me to come up to his house. His parents were in Montana, they were traveling, and his brother was there, but, he was, in his room, he's a recluse, and, um, but Mike wanted to have me come up to his house, and he showed me The Grudge, and that movie, and this was I we were this was 20 years ago, and I still remember, like, uh, like that sound, like that sa
Yeah,
and, like, certain scenes, and there's certain scenes from movies that just really stick with me, and that's why I don't watch a whole lot of horror anymore because for some rea it sticks with me,
yeah,
and I
yeah.
can't get it out of my mind, I can't get rid of it,
The only
and
other
that I
one
hate that.
that I've had this same reaction to is Signs. And the thing is too is because 'cause 1, I don't like aliens. Like, I
What?
remember watching
The movie Alien.
well, I don't think I've actually watched Alien, but, like, I as a genre, I don't like aliens. So, I
Okay,
I
that's
I
weird,
don't
I'm so
because, like,
so
I don't know if you remember on Unsolved Mysteries where they had all of the alien stuff on there, and that always
that show talk about scarring, that show scarred me
and so, like,
several times.
anytime they had, like, a thing with aliens on it and, of course, we lived in the townhouse, so thankfully we
Mhm.
had carpeted stairs. So,
Yeah.
like, I would, like, army crawl all the way up the stairs and then, like, lay under like, if my window was open, like, the shades were up and everything, I would, like,
Uh-huh,
army
uh-huh.
crawl to my window, shut the shades, and make sure that they're all turned and, like, shut the
That's
curtains.
funny. That's
'Cause
funny. Oh my
because
god.
it was always and so, like, I watched Signs for the first time with, my one of my old roommates, and, like, they had already seen it before, so
Yeah.
they knew what was coming, and I'm, like, sitting there watching, and then all of a sudden, just as, like, they're putting the knife underneath the door and the hand comes out from underneath, my friend put her leg up on my couch that I was laying on, and, like, I went and I, like, clawed, like, grabbed her leg and, like,
My
held onto
word.
it, and she's like, "Sheena, let go. Sheena, let go. Sheena, let go." And so then I finally let go, and the next day, she had 5 fingerprint bruises on her leg
Oh
because I was
my
like,
god. Way I said I never saw it. I never saw it. But, yeah, I there that show, that show, Unsolved Mysteries with Robert Stack, that scarred me. I mean, there were so many things we probably shouldn't have been watching in the 1980s and 90s, but, and that was a different time. But, it was I remember one episode, so we I was in the, I was with my grandparents, I was staying overnight, and we were my grandparents were in bed because, I mean, it was like, 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock at night, no Unsolved Mysteries was coming on. They had, like, 3 channels on their TV because they
uh-huh,
lived out in the boonies, okay? They lived
uh,
out in the boonies, and they didn't have cable, they had, the satellite or no, like, the antenna, they had to you
mhm,
actually have to, like, turn the box, the antenna, the
mhm,
dial on the box to, like, turn the antenna to try to get the channel. Oh my god, it was ridiculous. Unsolved Mysteries was on. My Aunt Ruth, who, she lived with my grandparents at the time, and she would sleep during the day and be up at night. So, someone was always, awake and, in the house, and it was kinda cool, I would stay up and try to hang out with my Aunt Ruth because I loved her. She was like, the cool hip mom and everything, and to me. So I was sitting up and watching Unsolved Mysteries, and I remember watching this episode and, like, this rapist. There was this guy was nasty. He looked like my grandparents' neighbor. I now the grand My grandparents' neighbor was a Mennonite guy. He was a young Mennonite guy, like, mid to late 20s. So, I mean, obviously not the same guy, I think. But it was he was so creepy because I'm like, "Oh my god. "Oh my god, that looks like my grandparents' neighbor, holy crap. That looks like him." And it freaked me out, and of course, you know, they're literally dead smack in the middle of the country. No lights, no street lights, no nothing. So you look out the doors and the windows, and it is pitch black as far as the eye can see. And, like, there's maybe some lights off in the far, far, far distance, but, I mean, there's no street lights, there's no other it was so creepy. I'm, like, stealthily sneaking to the door to shut the door and lock it quickly before this mad rapist who lived next door to my grandparents could come over and get me, I don't know. But it was that show definitely scarred me. It definitely did.
Like I said, only the alien part scarred me on that.
See, that's I've never knew that about you, that's so funny. I love that I'm learning new things about you 'cause weird things. Afraid of chickens,
Hey.
aliens, and turkeys. Now, do
Yeah.
you eat turkey? You're okay to eat
Oh, yeah.
them?
Oh,
Okay,
yeah.
and of
They're
course
fine as
chicken?
long as they're on my plate.
Okay, okay. It's and you're it's a probably a gay thing too, 'cause like,
Yeah.
"Ha now you can't scare me," you
Aha,
can't like
sucker.
exactly. Can't pop up at my house randomly. Go, you know? And they flap their wings at you for now, I have to say, chickens don't get me. Roosters, I do get freaked out about roosters. Um, I was chased by a rooster, a nasty rooster when I was younger. My grandma once again, my grandparents, I was out, living with them or staying with them sometimes every night, and I would go next door to their neighbor's house, and, they had chickens and a rooster, and I would love to go out and get the eggs. I thought it was so cool, 'cause I was a city girl, Ephrata, big Ephrata city girl, never got eggs before, and, going out to the hen house and picking eggs, but the rooster was a nasty sucker, and he's, like, chasing me and scared me. I mean, that was scary. I mean, I my grandparents moved in 1993, and I was, 3rd grade, so, I mean but, I remember Heidi then took a baseball bat, and she's like, "Come on, he's okay." And I'm like, you're taking a bat out. What do you mean he's okay?" So I went behind her, I mean, and she's like, swinging the bat at the rooster to, like, keep him away. And I'm like, "Holy crap." So I'm, like, running, and I'm, like, getting the eggs, and she's like I think they ate him. I think he was dinner one time, but, yeah.
Well,
I
you can only be dinner once, so,
yeah, he was a nasty sucker, though. So,
yeah. Well, I guess we kinda chatted everybody's ears off now, but, you know, so that's what we're here for. We're here to give you some good
yeah,
times.
have
So,
fun and chit chat
join our
and
community, join our cult, whatever you wanna call it. Make it a pyramid scheme, invite one friend, have them invite you, and them invite 2, blah, and so on and so on, the Amway scheme.
I love it.
And, reach out to us, and so I guess we'll see you guys next week.
Thanks, guys. See ya.
Love you,
Merry
bye.
Christmas.